Let's play some Astro's Playroom on the PS5. It shows off all the features of the new controller and it's really fun. Let's get straight to it. And as always, thanks if you've liked, commented or subscribed. So this experience was created to show you some of the cool tricks possible with your DualSense wireless controller. It's really fun, it's really simple, and it shows you all the new features and all the cool new stuff you can do with the brand new PlayStation 5. It's Astro's Playroom, and it's a little bit like Little Big Planet, and it's just really fun. I really recommend you guys give this a go as soon as you turn your PlayStation 5s on. Massive nostalgia when playing it as well. There's loads of callbacks to previous PlayStation 1 and all the different things that PlayStation have released. So first things first, you've got the adaptive triggers. These are so cool, and it just shows the kind of the pressure you put down on the controller here. As you can see, Diggs is playing right now, but you can see as he presses down, it reacts with him. So you can see that kind of flare in the bottom as he goes on the left and then over to the right. You can see the pressure he's applying on the trigger. As he applies more and more, it blasts off, and it feels really cool. You can feel it in the actual controller, the vibrations and everything. You've got the touchpad. You'll see Digweed putting up the old 4Play gang sign, which is very cool there. It's really responsive as well, the touchpad. One of the later levels, you are in a ball. Astro's in a ball, and it's really responsive when you're using the ball to like slip around and move around the level. All these guys have just jumped in the controller, and you can actually feel them as you move the controller around here. It's almost like you've got something in and you're pouring them kind of around inside the controller. It feels really cool. And again, it just shows off these new features, these new vibrations. When you blow in the microphone here, you can hear them all inside the controller. And the vibration, you can kind of see how the visual there mimics it, but it feels so good. And it's not just the whole controller vibrating, you can feel it, like the different points of the controller vibrating and interacting at times. So it's really fun, but yeah, let's move on. I mean, this console looks amazing. If you haven't already, check out our unboxing. It's just me and Diggs in my front room, just having a look, just getting it out of the box for the first time, and you'll see this console looks so good, and the controller is awesome too. So you got that trackpad there, really responsive. You fire him out of the trackpad, and it all begins. But I really like this game, and it's very addictive, and you can't put it down. So I imagine a lot of you guys are going to do the same thing and go, oh, let's have a go, let's have a look at the new features, and you'll be stuck on this game and in this world for a long time, wanting to come back and collect all the cool things to add to your little playroom. And it's just a brilliant way of learning the new features, and I guess Sony's way of just showing off what this new console can do, what this new controller can do, and what I guess game developers are going to do and have the ability to do, with their new games coming up. And all these new things, all these new features that people can utilize and take advantage of. And it's just exciting that they're showing you some of these things in this little mini game here, which it's like, as I said, like a massive Little Big Planet or something like that. It's as big, and when you load it up and you see all these new levels, you'll realize how big it is. And once you've done a few levels, you'll realize how many things there is to collect, how big it is, how many trophies there are to get. And we're hoping that in future you can jump in your friends' playrooms. Like after a few levels, you go in your big room and you can see you collect like a PlayStation 1, and you collect all the old things from the PlayStations. You've got the memory sticks you had, the multi-stack, so that you could all play multiplayer together, and there's loads of different things you can unlock. You can't appreciate the sound quality here, but even running over that glass sounds amazing. Look, and the grass here as well, just as you run through the grass, even that looks good. Like, there's so much to appreciate from this console. It's just so pretty, and I really like how Sony are just showing off here immediately, straight off the bat. You jump in. Most of you are going to do this to just kind of see the new features of the controller, but as I said, you'll get lost in this world. and all the crazy stuff going on in it, all the things to grab and pull on like this here, and just really get involved. Like later on you get in a big suit, and you, as I said, you get in a ball and you run around in that, and there's so many cool things to do in this weird little world. But yeah, and collecting the coins, I don't know what you can spend the coins on. I think there's a little almost like an arcade machine with the balls in that you spend your coins on. I think Diggs was doing that after a couple of levels earlier. So I imagine this is something that you'll go back to. I've got 5 minutes on a Sunday or something, I'll play some Astro's Playroom, and then you'll probably be lost for 2 hours playing it. So yeah, and you know, everything in the world does something, it seems. You've got this amazing grass all the time, and what you'll notice is all the different elements, all the different things in the world, like activate your controller in a different way. So one of the levels, it was raining and I could feel the rain in the controller, and then later on it was hailing, and you can feel the hail. You know, the controller vibrates differently, and as you can see here, look, you've got the triggers from the controller that you're jumping on. We thought that's a really cool feature. I didn't even notice that. Diggs noticed that one when he was playing. All these weird little enemies that you can attack in different ways. As you'll notice, these chords, they come up quite a lot in the game. They're really cool. Another good thing about this, I love games like this where there's always, you know, you're always on your tracks. There's always a way to go, a path to go. But if you stray away from the path, you can find secrets like this jigsaw here. And those jigsaw pieces, when you go in your playroom at the end of the level, you can see the jigsaw pieces on the wall. So the more jigsaw pieces you collect, the cooler the wall from that section's going to look. So there's all these little collectibles whilst you're playing this weird game that you can get. And yeah, again, it's just showing you all these new features, and I guess it's good for new users as well. Like if you've not had a PlayStation for a while or played any games, you're going to get used to all the controls. It's a bit platformy as well. Well, it's very platformy, isn't it? You know, jumping around here. I think there's a death in a second. There we go. But straight back in after. So it's just a fun little game you can play with the little pop-ups that show you what the controller can do, really. Okay, so we've progressed on a bit to the end of this kind of mini section here, and something cool happens in a second, so I thought I'd bring that up. So again, another one of these little cords that you pull on, and then you jump in this little suit here. You use the trackpad to zip yourself up, which again feels really cool on the controller. That's the one thing you're not getting here. You're not getting that controller, that like interactive side of the controller. And here, look at this. This is so impressive, the way you hold the trigger and then you tilt the controller, hold the trigger, tilt the controller. And this, to me, after a couple of minutes when they started adding some different things in, looked so confusing because Diggs is actually playing here. So what Diggs was doing looked really confusing to me, but they build it up so well for you here, and you kind of learn the movement here, and then you'd be swinging in a minute and things. And Diggs was just flowing through it, whereas me, who hadn't done this section, I was a bit lost to what he was doing. So this is super rewarding and super fun. And again, you're getting used to these, I guess, this new controller, how responsive it is. I know you could tilt the PS4 controller. I know there was a bit of movement on the controller in certain games. They didn't really take advantage of it much, because for me it was a bit clunky and it wasn't very good. This is so responsive, and so it just fits. And here, the vibration on the controller there, going up that little bit, like, you can appreciate the sound, but when it's coming through the controller and the controller's moving as you're going up that track, it just feels like you're in the game more, and it's so exciting to just play this. The first thing you hit, so here, just moving the controller like that gives you the momentum to jump up, and then you moved over to the left a bit there because Diggs was tilting the controller to try and get to that jigsaw piece. So it'd be impressive to see how games, you know, jumping around games, like how game companies take advantage of this new controller and all the new features in it. It's really cool and really exciting. Okay, so as I was saying, you've always got the right way to go in games like this, but also you've always got the wrong way to go, and the wrong way is usually a collectible or something cool, which is what you'll see in a second. As I was saying, you can get all these different collectibles for your little playroom, and we're coming up to one in a second. In this, they're called artifacts, and it's just something cool. So there we go, you got the PSVR processor unit there. So it's not that exciting. A lot of us haven't had the PSVR yet, but as I said, there's a level later on, you start unlocking PS1 stuff, and it's so cool just to kind of see that again, see that grey funny looking console and all the things you get with it. And you get the first controller, and then you unlock the first DualShock controller, and that was pretty funny to see that again, to be like, oh wow, like that was a big deal then. Now you look at controllers, and well, I'm doing a long YouTube video about the controller, so it's just quite funny, isn't it, how things progress. And it's good to get that nostalgia and really appreciate it when you're playing this mental game. So this next section of the game I thought was really impressive, and again it just showed off more features with the controller, and I guess more things Sony are adding. So you get this bow and arrow here, and as you can see, so you hold R2 and then you pull back on the bow and arrow, and you pull back, and again the controller vibrates a bit and gives you that tension feeling. I could see Diggs playing here, and it just sounded so satisfying when he was pulling it back and kind of getting the tension, and how responsive that thumbstick is. I mean, I know this is something you could probably have done on the PS4 controller, but this new controller just feels so responsive and so alive with the game. It just makes it feel so much more satisfying. So towards the end of the level, you spend a little bit more time in the suit, and then you jump out of it. You end up in this snowy level before you finish. Again, you feel like you're in this level even more. You can feel it more through the controller. You can't just see and hear the level, you can actually feel it on the controller. You can feel the snow, you can feel you stepping through the snow and everything. So I'm excited about this new controller, because it's going to make you feel like you're playing the game even more, you're in the world even more, because your senses are even more in tune with it. And I hope game developers are using that as well, as much as they can, because it's way more responsive than the PS4 controller, and I'm excited to see what games do. You know, this is something Sony have put together to show off what they can do. I imagine some game developers are going to put some crazy stuff together. So that is the end of our Astro's Playroom for PS5 video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed the first look at these crazy new controllers, and if you did, please give the video a like, give us a comment, let us know what you think of the what your thoughts are of the PS5 and the controller and this crazy little game. We really enjoy it. We want to hear what you think as well. And thank you for supporting the channel as always. We appreciate it, and we will see you in the next video. If you guys need a video for something, we will be doing more videos, so if there's something you need doing, let us know and we'll do a video on it. Cheers guys.